Since the beginning of the year, tensions between mainland China and Taiwan have risen again after leaders from both Beijing and Taipei restated their position on this issue. We Europeans have immediately confirmed where we stand. We want to encourage dialogue between mainland China and Taiwan, and we regret that cross-strait relations have remained frozen in the past 2 years.
Colleagues, the clear wish and the right of the Taiwanese people to live in freedom and democracy must be respected. China must face the reality of the existence of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and handle cross-strait disputes peacefully on the basis of equality and non-conditionality.
Several times now, the Parliament has said that the conflict between mainland China and Taiwan should be resolved by peaceful dialogue, cooperation and trust-building measures. And we continue to believe that. We don't believe that there is a military solution to this dispute.
President Xi says that Taiwan is an eternal matter for China. And we're talking here about 23 million Taiwanese. And their human rights, their rule of law is essential. And there are three big political issues for the European Union involved. And we've got to make an effort vis-à-vis Beijing to say where we stand, and we must support Taipei.
ALDE does not accept the use of military force or the threat of the use of military force and other blackmail. The Taiwanese people should be able to determine their future. The EU, together with the United States, should protect Taiwan and its democracy. China should know that the use of force, the threat of the use of force and other pressure will have serious consequences for China itself.
China is putting all sorts of pressure on Taiwan at all different levels. Diplomatic pressure, economic pressure, and also the increased militarization that's taking place in the Taiwan Straits, and that's something that concerns us.
We must promote dialogue and produce solutions. We have to dialogue.
What the Taiwanese people really want is to promote democracy, the rule of law and freedoms. These are all things that are anathema to the communist regime. With regard to the increasing tensions in the China-Taiwan Straits, I think the Parliament delegation should go to Taiwan as quickly as possible to get an update on the situation and to show support for Taiwanese democracy. Thank you.
We should also underline the values which we share with Taiwan and be supportive in its contribution to the region. I would also like to call on the High Representative, Madam Mogherini, to use all our diplomatic means to assist sustaining peace and stability in the region.
Deepening our economic ties is our most efficient approach to support Taiwanese freedom and democracy. Waiting for an investment treaty with China is waiting for Godot.
He is acting as though what President Xi Jinping said was just a kind of minor political statement, but it wasn't that. He was talking about using violence to reunify Taiwan with China. And that was a threat. And in the face of that, we have to properly recognize Taiwan. China will recognize no other response. We have to help Taiwan not to succumb to Chinese pressure.
We have to clearly support the democratic choice of 23 million Taiwanese. They have proved for decades what a free society can achieve. Before insisting on reunification, the mainland China must reform itself into a democratic society which is finally willing and can respect free choice of all its citizens.
But Taiwan is a democracy. Look at what Tsai, the president, has said. This is a democratic liberal country, and they can only survive if neighbouring countries and European partners work together for a greater good. So for that reason, the European Union should be more committed and support democracy in Taiwan. Thank you.
The European Union must appeal to moderation on both sides of the conflict, firmly opposed to the use of threat of forces across the Taiwan Strait and urge China to abstain from any coercion that would jeopardize the security of the social economic system of the people of Taiwan.
Taiwan has gone to great lengths in order to improve their relations with the Chinese People's Republic, and mainland China should appreciate these and stop treating Taiwan like a territory to be conquered.
Taiwan is an example of a functioning democracy, protecting the same values as the European Union, and it deserves our full support and recognition.
All cross-strait disputes have to be settled by peaceful means and on the basis of international law and the principle of equality. And at the same time, I strongly believe that the commitment of Taiwanese people to freedom and democracy and towards a democratic system that they have tenaciously built together must be respected and taken into account.
We need to foster our engagement to make sure the status quo remains the norm in the Taiwan Straits.